Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Well, I guess everybody recovered from the Super Bowl. We certainly did. And since I live in Pennsylvania, and we are having today one of those lovely days when it's snow and rain, and it's just right around freezing. And so it's going to make it lovely on the streets, I mean, really lovely, dangerous. So we're all sacked in. We are not doing much of anything else, uh, except I'm here to chat with you. And one of my great pleasures is to be having this show every Sunday. I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys do too, because and I'm really a little not so much enamored with that. I don't get enough feedback from you guys. I do like to get some feedback and tell me of what you would like to hear. We are going to change the name of the show to Brunch with Gisela. So that way we can talk about a variety of things, not just pets. I know that most of you are probably interested in pets, and so am I. But I do think that I have some other things that I would love to talk to you guys about, and especially to the gals, because I do have a broad knowledge also of of skincare, and I'm also a licensed esthetician and a natural health doctor. So there's a lot of knowledge, and I like you guys to tap into that, because that's the whole idea, that I share my knowledge with you, and we have a little interaction. Now, to give you a little incentive for that, you would write into me, and that is all you have to do is um, the first 10 people that write into my email, that you have to go onto my website, and there's an email, and just write to that email and say you have to give your email address. You don't really have to give your name, but if you like to win one of these prizes. Now, here's the thing: you don't have to do anything else. You just have to write in and tell me of how you like the show, or if you didn't like the show, tell me that too. But you see this little heart? This is a USB drive, and I loaded this with pet information. So what you can do is you can put this on the collar of your pet, and it says on there, "Get me home." There's a telephone number. Unfortunately, the telephone number is not in use right now. I'm having a little dispute with that company that issued that. But on the program, there's another telephone number that you can use, and it says "Get me home," but you can use this USB drive anywhere. It is you can store things on it. You can store music on it. Um, uh, Towards Valentine's, I wear it around my neck. I have a little, it's really kind of cute, and it works really well. Now, the first 10 callers, or the first people that write in, they get one of these, or they get one of these. That is a wristband, same thing, just for people, and you just put it on your wrist. And and it just snaps right in here. See? There, I hope you can see that. There. And it snaps right in, and it does say also "My Life, My Will," as my website is. I had designed these, and all these come in a nice little bag. And I think that it would be nice. You get these free. They are normally the armbands are normally $37, and these little ones are 25. So you get these totally free. But what you have to do is you have to write to me. You have to tell me what you liked about the show, or what you didn't like about the show, or what you would like to hear. So anybody who writes in, if you're within the first 10, you get, just specify what you would like, either the wristband or the little heart, and I will get them to you. I pay for the shipping. So please, please do. It's a good opportunity for you to get something for free just for writing in. Um, because I really like to get some feedback of how you perceive the show, what you would like to hear. Um, we are changing the name of the show to Brunch with Gisela, so we can talk, like I said, about different things. So if you like that and what you would like to hear, um, please let me know. Okay? So don't forget, go to the website, send me an email, and that's all. It's my life dash my will at live, live.com. My life dash my will at live, live.com. That's my email. So just send me a note, and you will be the recipient of one of these cool little USB drives. And you can use the drive for anything. You can store your pictures. And they are totally. Uh, you can use them on any machine, anywhere where you have a USB connector. You can use these drives. Okay. I'll on the end of the show, I will say it again so that you will have that everybody will get the information. So let me talk today about another pet thing. I think we have talked about that once before in one of my shows, but I can't say it enough. We don't most when I go to the grocery store and go through the pet aisle, I see people are more and more looking at different things. But you know what? They look up on the front of the pet food. They look and see if it says natural or so on. They don't turn the package around and look at the ingredients. Well, one of the things is because many of the ingredients we hardly know how to pronounce. And then when we do read it, we don't know what it is. Well, I'm going to give you the 10, 10 ingredients that are most dominant, especially in pet food, may it be cat food or dog food. And a lot of these ingredients are in our own food, in people food also. Um, and these 10 are really not exactly of what, and I will, you will pardon me, I will have to read some of this off, but I know of when I see it on the pet food of what it is. So I usually don't buy pet food, but it's very hard not to find pet food that do not have these ingredients. That's why I'm always saying, but feed fresh, whatever. Um, there are 10 ingredients sometimes found in regular dog food. They likely won't be present in natural counterparts. So this stuff that I'm reading to you will not be in any of the natural foods, like for instance, in just beef or tripe or liver or heart. The most predominant one is BHA, and it's butylated hydroxyzanidazole. And there's no getting around it. Dry dog food requires preservatives, and that we know. Not only dry dog food, but every food requires preservatives to prevent spoiling for it. And natural brands tend to be a healthier choice, such as vitamin C, uh, that is used as a preservative. And when you see it, and vitamin E, when you see dog food that, like for instance, let's say Old Roy, okay, has a lot of BHA in it. It's very hard, and it doesn't spoil ever. I mean, you can have this stuff in your. I used to run a pet food pantry for people that were out of work, and it took a while until the uh, their monies from unemployment would come in, or any government monies that they would have applied for, so on. And their dogs needed to eat and their pets needed to eat. So I ran a pet food pantry that gave pet food to people who were out of luck. And I would have pet food from all over. People would donate, and I would see what these pet foods. I mean, I would have these pet foods for months in my truck until I would deliver them to the people, or until they would come and pick it up. And there would be no spoilage whatsoever. And when I looked at it, it was BHA and BHT that can extend the shelf life almost as almost forever, you know. Unfortunately, we do have that in our cosmetics too, and we will have a whole show on health products one day, um, of what all those preservatives are. Uh, Sequin is another chemical synthesized preservative whose long-term safety in dogs has not been studied. Some reports have noted impaired liver and kidney function, though the U.S. Food and Drug Administration concluded the additives do not pose a health threat. Well, we know what the FDA is all about, right? They are driven by all these big companies that make these dog foods. So in 1997, the government agency reduced the amount of SOC permitted in dog food. So if they reduced it, then it can't be that it is so healthy, right? Another one is propylene glycol. We see that also in so many other products. This clear, colorless liquid is used in some semi-moist food to prevent them from drying out. It may be toxic if consumed in large amounts, causing central nervous system impairment and changes in kidney functions. Propylene glycol is also the basis of for less toxic antifreeze used in dairies and breweries. Not a good thing. If you see propylene glycol anywhere, stay away from it. Propylene gallate. This fine white powder is an antioxidant that helps the fats and oils in food from spoiling in humans and can cause stomach and skin irritations. Now, if we have continuous stomach irritations, any irritation anywhere continuously, you know what can cause that can cause cancer. A continuous irritation can result in cancer in the long term, not short term, but long term. Coloring agents such as red 40 and yellow 5. Manufacturers use these and other food, drug, or cosmetic colors to enhance the appearance of dog foods. More health conscious brands seek out natural ingredients such as carrots for color enhancement. So the more natural pet foods, you want them to either be uniform colored, but you don't want them to be in that multicolor. Unfortunately, it seems like they're also, especially for cats, they're also quite addictive to cats. I mean, Meow Mix, I'm sure they put something addictive in there because I know my cats go wild over it. And if I bring another brand, a more natural brand, in, they leave it usually. What I have done now is I feed a little bit of that, and then what I what I do is I feed them more naturally. And if they don't want to eat for that day, well, they don't eat. Uh, if they are healthy animals, they will eat eventually, and that's how you can wean them off. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that especially cats are very finicky. Phosphoric acid, this clear liquid is sometimes used as an emulsifier and flavoring agent. It also inhibits discoloration, but concentrated amounts can irritate a dog's skin and mucous membranes. Now, I know for sure that my little dog, TC, who is my little black poodle, he's had a lot of skin problems because when he was young, apparently he was only fed these kind of foods like inexpensive dog food, and they are predominantly these additives are predominantly in these inexpensive dog foods. However, the more expensive dog foods also have them. So do read the labels. Price is no indication for value or goodness, and we know that with everything, right? Sorbitol, a popular synthetic sugar substitute. Sorbitol is used as a flavoring agent. If eaten in large amounts, it can cause diarrhea and intestinal upset in dogs. And sorbitol is used a lot, because you know uh, they don't want to put salt in there because that's also a flavoring agent. So they use sorbitol because it's also a lot cheaper than salt. So be by the way, if you do a search online for these ingredients, you can just put the search in of saying additives in dog food. And this is where I got this from too, um, just for my reference. But you can do that too. You can just go online and um, search for it, and you'll get it. Make a printout, remember it, or even take it with you to when you go shopping. Um, it'll serve you and your animals. The next one is the alpha tocopherol acetate. Now, that's also a derivative of vitamin E and is commonly used as a preservative also in natural dog foods. This synthetic form of the vitamin is not readily absorbed by the body as it is not it as in its natural counterpart, mixed tocopherols. Tocopherols are a derivative of vitamin E, as we know, but the alpha tocopherol acetate can irritate and give skin problems. So be careful. When you see just tocopherol without the di-alpha in front of it, then you can safely buy it. Tocopherol in itself is just a derivative of vitamin E. But if it has a di-tocopherol, be careful. Try to stay away from it. And the last one is a menadionate, sodium bisulfate, vitamin K3. This synthetic version of vitamin K is sometimes also listed as menadionate dimethyl pyrimidyl bisulfate and several other variations. Always when you see this, dimethyl in front of the bisulfate, and several other variations. Critics contend that it is an unnecessary ingredient in dog food, and reports indicate it can irritate mucous membranes and respiratory passages and the skin. Again, even though vitamin K is really a very good vitamin also for our animals, but this synthetic form of it can really um, irritate. And the mucus we have with our dogs anyway a problem because we don't, I don't know about you. I don't really brush my dog's teeth all the time. I mean, yes, they say do if you have one dog, um, you have him from puppy on, and you got them used to it right away to brush their teeth. Well, you might succeed. But if you adopted an adult dog and now all of a sudden he sees you coming with this brush there and to brush his teeth, that may not work so well. So, and so I can, it was before you just irritate the daylights out of your dog and out of yourself and get all frustrated with it, don't buy dog food that have these ingredients, because once they have a little bit of tartar on their teeth, the gums may be irritated already anyway, and now you're adding these ingredients and these additives to that, and it's going to make their mouth really sore. And then when you have your dog and he doesn't want to eat, well, maybe his mouth is hurting. Maybe he has mucus. Now, one other thing is what you can do there with it, which I have done. And again, my little dog TC, that little black poodle who has always been, I mean, he came as a patient and he's still a patient. He's continuously, he has something else. Right now, he has an ear infection that we are working on, and it's almost gone. And I had to go the route of antibiotics because there was no other way to treat it because it was really bad. I do that always just as a last resort, but if it is necessary, then I will give the antibiotics. And he is getting better now. But we've had him now for probably about 5 years. And he's always had one thing after another. Either it was skin or it was mouth or teeth or whatever. And his teeth are notoriously bad. So what I do with him is I take my finger, and my finger is pretty big for his little mouth, but I do the front with it. And I take a very soft little cloth and I soak it in either just a little baking soda. Sometimes I uh, put water and peroxide and a little baking soda. I mix it in a little bowl and I dip my finger in it and I just do the front. And then for the back, I do the same thing. I use a Q-tip that I wet it and I smush the fibers really down, and I use that little Q-tip for the back ones. And I do that like every week or every second week. His teeth have not gotten worse because I have been doing that, and it does work. It does work. So baking soda, just a smidgen of baking soda, uh, a teaspoon of peroxide, just the regular peroxide, and 2 or 3 teaspoons of water. And you mix that all really nice together, and you use that on your animals. It works a lot better than most of these toothpaste, and you can buy all of this stuff. And if you have too much money, go ahead. But this, I can tell you, will not hurt your animal and will work really just fine. Okay. And I hope you guys took some notes. Like I said, you can find all of this online, so you don't really have to remember everything of what what I was just telling you. Now, one other thing is I went through online and I thought, what what is new in the dog world? And there are all kinds of things that are new. There's, for instance, a um, a study that I read about people who smoke and their animals. People who smoke, their animals breathe this into. They've made a study. They've found that cats and dogs who live in homes where they are heavy smokers, they end up with the same kind of respiratory problems, cancers, as people do. So if you do smoke, stop. It's the best solution. If you can't stop, um, smoke in a room or outside or in another area where your pets are not really inhaling all of this. Um, it's not a good thing. The study was really very complete. Also, you can find it smoking with your dogs, or smoking and dogs or animals or pets. Put a search in. I'm sure you'll find the article. Um, Also, what is interesting is dogs that are impaired, like a deaf dog. They're using deaf dogs and teach them sign language. Isn't that interesting? I found that very interesting. And I can tell you, it does work. Now, I always talk about my dogs because I don't have the names of your dogs yet. Send them to me. I'll talk about, and send me your stories. I'll talk about that too. But in this instance, I have little Charlie, my little black and white papillon. He's blind now. It was for years that he had some sight, but now we are pretty sure he's blind. Now, when he goes out, uh, he doesn't always know the direction anymore of when, and he hears my voice, but he doesn't really know where it's coming from often, I've noticed. So what I do is I send my little TC, my little black poodle, and I just tell him and say, go get Charlie. And little TC goes, runs over to Charlie and runs away from him, and Charlie goes right behind him. And they have been doing that with deaf dogs, that they have taught them sign language, sign languages of how, and the dogs respond. They understand. I found that terribly interesting. Um, they were larger dogs, and they were apparently dogs that were taught from puppyhood on. But it was a very, very, very super interesting thing to read about. There's also now, as we know, they are so many. If any of you are renting, I have a girlfriend in California right now. She has a couple of cats, and she has to move to where from the place that she is living. And everywhere she goes is no pets, no pets, no pets, except service animals. Well, now she had her doctor write her a note that her cat is her service cat. So I thought that was kind of cute. And so now hopefully she will be able to rent somewhere else. But what they have in one company, very progressive, very, very progressive. Let me see of where I find the name of that company. The company's name is the Spot Experiment. Sorry. The Spot Experience. And what this company has done is, in one of the very expensive high rise that people can buy themselves into, and it's run like a club. It's on 53rd Street. I know the building, very expensive building. I'm very high. Most owners there own a pet. And this company goes in there. They have pet trainers, they have veterinaries, they have groomers, they have the whole 9 yards. And they go in and you can rent these people. So all you have to do is with the concierge, you tell them, my dog Fifi has to go out at 9 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock because I'm going to be gone for the day. And a pet trainer will go up there, go get the animal. These people are bonded, they are trustworthy, and they are trained to handle any kind of animal. Now, they at this point, they are only bonded and trained for dogs and cats, but I'm sure that if you had an iguana, they would take care of it too. And what they do is they have several locations in Manhattan at airports where where your pet can have royalty treatments. They have spas for the animals, uh, where they can on top of it they have a app for your smartphone so that you can watch your pet while you're working. That means, like, if at 11 o'clock you're at your desk at work and you feel like oh, let's see how Fifi is. Well, you can go onto this app on your smartphone. They have a webcam on the animals, and you can watch Fifi, um, uh, playing with other animals. Now, they also have apparently a rule: no barking, and no what was it? No barking, and they can't really be running out of control or whatever. Well, I don't know how they will stop the dogs from barking, especially if it's a small dog. They love to yap. Um,
Duct tape.
I might want to talk to them and see how they're doing that. Yes,
Duct
Amnan?
tape. Duct tape.
Duct tape. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I found that very interesting. What else I found interesting is there was a comment that the USDA has issued a statement. And remember, last week we talked about animal rights. And what do I read this week? The USDA issued a statement this week. We are taking action to ensure animals are respectfully and treated humanely, especially farm animals. And the lawmakers introduced a bill strengthening the laws and the protection of farm animals used in research. Both moves come out of a New York Times investigation of animals suffering at a federal research facility. Now, isn't that interesting? Last week we talked about how people that we have to respect our animals a little better and have better laws and stronger laws. And then I read this, and now the government is finally doing a little bit towards that to strengthen the laws for these animals, because I really don't think that any of those are really that well protected. Um, so, again, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Remember, you can get one of these for free. Okay. I hope I get a lot write ins so that I really have to. But the first 10 that write in will get one of these. Okay. And my email is my life dash my will at live.com. So I hope to hear from you. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll check my email every day. Thank you so much for listening. We are changing, Amnon. We are changing the
Yeah, we're
times.
gonna
Have we made?
next week we're gonna start at 1 o'clock,
Okay.
1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Great. So 1 o'clock, and we are changing the name of the show, Brunch with Gisela.
Right.
And I will have my little cup, my little animal cup. Maybe today is my birthday, so I
Happy
should have had.
birthday!
Thank
Yay!
you. Thank you. And next week, I didn't have the champagne ready for today because I really thought that I would probably be out tonight, so I didn't buy any. But it looks like I'm not going anywhere with this weather that we are having. So next week I'll have a glass of champagne with you all and for brunch. And are we starting next week at 1 o'clock? I'm not
Yes.
terrific. Well, it was a pleasure as always. Ta ta. Hope to see you next Sunday.
See
Bye
ya.
bye. Stay all healthy. Bye bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tanya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.